you so much for being here. I hope you have gone through the topic that we'll be discussing. So I am assuming all of your startups. Okay, wonderful. So my name is Sreeraja Vasudevan. I am a Malayali from Delhi. So I'm bringing best of both parts. I take care of the ISV initiatives in Crayon. Crayon is one of the largest distributor for Microsoft and AWS. We are partnered with few other global OEMs. So I'll be talking about what are we doing with startups. And when I say startups, the startups that we work with are tech startups. So ISVs, so we call them ISVs and startups both. Uh, Me as an ISV manager in Crayon, I take care of all the initiatives, campaigns, programs, uh, eventually helping startups build their business on cloud with us. So that is what we are going to talk about. Now, before we move ahead, I want to talk why startups are so important. Now, this is one of the recent surveys which was conducted this year, and which shows that India has the third largest startup ecosystem. Now, many of you might already connected to a lot of cloud service providers. I'm sure you might be talking to a lot of cloud partners. You might be talking to Microsoft, AWS, GCPs, and the reason and another thing that you might have noticed is that they have dedicated startup team. They have dedicated ISV team, both tech and sales. And why is the reason? The reason is this: startup is the largest segment for AWS and one of the growing segment for Microsoft. And it is also the largest segment we have in India right now. If you ask me, about 40% of our business in Crayon comes from startups and ISVs. And we are expecting it to be 60% by 26. So that is how the startup segment is growing. So I'll talk a bit more why we give so much of focus for startups in India in slides to come. Now, if you talk about Crayon, over the past couple of years, we work with about 700 plus ISVs and startups in India. And I'm just talking about India startups. And the learnings that we have gathered from this 700 ISVs that we have worked with is their intent of going on cloud. Their intent of going on cloud is little different than what we understand. So initially, a lot of these cloud service providers, when they started reaching out to startups and ISVs, the pitch was different. The discussion was just about infrastructure. And what we have observed is when we are talking to startups, its infrastructure is one of the things that we discuss. Startups today wants to know how can I sell more? How can I get more customers by being on cloud or partnering with you? That is the kind of queries that we address at Crayon. The second one is choosing the right partner. Now, I have a saying that your cloud adoption journey is as good as the partner you are partnered with. I have multiple cases. Is it better? Okay, thanks. So I have multiple scenarios where startups' cloud deployment journey didn't go as planned. And the reason for that is the partner they were working with didn't have the required skill set to support that particular startup. Because we have startup across different spectrum. We have startups focusing on BFSI, we have startups focusing on manufacturing industry. There are a lot of data and AI innovation. Healthcare startup is another important segment that is booming. EdTech is anyways always there. Now, every partner may not be able to help all these startups. So take an example. If I have a startup focusing on BFSI, they have created a solution for for banks and financial sectors and insurance. I have few set of partners who are working very closely with all the BFSI customers. It's based out of Mumbai. I have another customer who's focusing on manufacturing customers. In that case, I will connect them to a different partner from Bangalore, Kerala, Chennai, because I know these are the kind of partners who can take them to the right customers, who can help them with right services. There are certain compliance requirement that needs to be fulfilled when you're working with manufacturing industry, when you're working with BFSI. So every industry have their own challenges. So we can help you choose the right partners for you. In India, we have about 350 plus partners for AWS. We have 700 plus partners for Microsoft. And I'm just talking about cloud for now. We have other partners as well for a few other products. Gaining expertise. Now, you as the founder of your company are absolutely good with your solution. You know in and out of your application, but how about going on cloud or partnering with other solution providers? Now, one of the things that I've seen a lot of startups, one of the biggest challenges that they face is integrating their solution with other traditional solution. Now, how flexible is your solution to get integrated with other solutions like SAP's, Oracle's, Microsoft Dynamics? Is your solution ready for data and AI integration? Data and AI is another interesting conversation I have with most of the startup I discuss. They either have it or they want to have it. If they have it, they want to explore more. So that is the kind of expertise that we can bring on table. How to be more sustainable on cloud. What are the new services that you can use to make your application or make your solution more productive, more lucrative for your customers. So this is something we can definitely help you with. And then trusting cloud. Now, very interesting question I get asked very frequently is, which is the best cloud? AWS, GCP, Microsoft Azure. And to be very honest, I've been in this industry for some time. It's been more than 10 years I've been in this industry. And I can tell you that there is no straight answer to it. It all depends on what is your solution, what is your business, what is your vision, what kind of customers you want to cater to, what kind of regions you want to be at in India or outside. Now, depending on these variables, we will suggest you the right, not just the right cloud, but the right path with that cloud. Now, that is how we are helping our startups choose the right cloud strategies for them. And then, of course, scaling business. Everything that we do in Crayon for startups and ISVs is helping them scale their application business on cloud with us. I have ISVs with B2C solution, I have ISVs with B2B solutions, and we are helping them scale their business with us. There are different strategies for all kind of startups, the tech startups that you're working with. So I'll talk more about how are we catering these challenges for the startups, how are we supporting them with all the programs that we have in Crayon with these challenges that they are facing. But before that, there's a small video I want to. How many of you already know Crayon software? Okay, good. Before I begin about the startups and what we do, I want to tell you that Crayon is a global distributor for Microsoft and AWS distributor in India. We are partnered with AWS globally, but we are distributing in India, and we are exploring other regions as well. So we are global partner for both the major cloud service providers. Our major business is cloud distribution, but apart from that, we are partnered with few other global OEMs like Acronix, Veeam, Zimbra. We are also partnered with Red Hat and few other OEMs. I'll talk about that more. But before that, just a quick video on what is Crayon.
Crayon is an IT company that helps and advises our customers on how to reduce costs, manage software, and cloud services. We are passionate about empowering businesses to thrive in the digital age and create a positive impact. What does this mean? What is our DNA?
So here's how we help customers. When we adopt the cloud, for example, we ensure that they have the right processes in place, the right security, the right legal requirements, simply ensuring that they are successful and they don't have to do it themselves, right?
We know the vendors very well, so we map the vendors and the functionality of the product up to the customer's needs.
We are best at helping our customers save money on cloud.
By providing detailed insight and visibility into their IT estate, we drive on average 30% cost optimization. The Crayon DNA is all about sitting on the customer side, always helping the customer make the right decisions.
In Crayon, we have an agnostic approach, which means that we are our customer's IT partner, no matter what technology or platform that they use today.
We offer expert advice, service desks, monitoring, and cloud operations to make sure that their IT systems are running at all times.
I always say that if I can't solve it, we have someone who can. So what we like to say is, you do what you do best, and we'll handle the rest.
We build intelligent, cutting-edge solutions powered by AI, leveraging the latest research within machine learning. Customers come to us with the hardest problems. That's where we excel, and that's what we love. We love working with the hardest problems.
Literally any problem can be solved with some kind of data-driven method.
We go for high value, low risk, because these machine learning projects, they are different than ordinary software development.
We have done hundreds of projects in this area.
Our vision is clear. We believe in the transformative power of technology to drive the greater good. Ever since we founded Crayon, we've helped customers navigate IT complexity, and together, we find the solutions that best fit your needs. Ultimately, it's about Crayon being on the customer side, always.
So very interesting statement there. You do what you do best and leave the rest to us. So we'll park that thought for now, but we'll discuss on that more. Okay, so as we mentioned that Crayon is a cloud service provider. We are headquartered in Norway. We started our operations in 2002, and since 2002, we have covered more than 80% of the global market. You name the country, we are already there, and we are partnered with all the cloud service provider and the cloud solution providers. Not, when I say solution, I mean service providers. We are partnered with companies like VMware, now Broadcom, and a few of the backup service providers. The whole intent of all the partnership that we have is to grow our cloud business. So India operation we started in 2023, and we are gradually scaling it up. We have about 8 ISV incubation centers in India, which is designed to help ISVs and startups, and we have 5 offices in India. So I'll talk about that a bit more. As I said, we are partnered with, along with AWS and Microsoft, we are partnered with few other OEMs. The intent of this partnership is making the technology procurement easy for our startups and ISVs, the partners that you're working with. How can you bundle all these different solutions, and how can we make it more cost effective for you? Because one of the things that we focus on Crayon is making your solution more profitable. We want you to be more profitable because only then you can sell more. And that is one of the things that we'll focus, and we'll talk about that in slides to come. Now, in Crayon, when you partner with Crayon, there are 4 areas which will help you build your cloud strategies with us. We have a global cloud partnership program. We help our ISVs and startups go global with us. We have an ISV first approach. This is a approach that we have been carrying since 2013 in India. We have a dedicated program called ISV Incubation Framework, which is to cater all the startups and ISVs that we have in India. We have a dedicated cloud strategies for startups, where different set of programs and initiative which is specially designed for startups to grow their cloud business with, to grow their application business on cloud with us. And then of course the Pan-India ISV incubation centers and how it can be useful for you. Now starting with the global cloud partnerships, as I said, we are there in almost 80% of the global market. We have about 8,000 plus certified professionals. We have about 6,000 plus resellers. So actually it's almost 8,000 now. It keep on growing. So when we started this year, we have about 6,000 resellers. At the moment, we are crossing 8,000 resellers globally. In India, we have about 1,000 plus partners, resellers in India. The global cloud partnership is designed in such a way that we can help you go global with whatever path you want. There are multiple ways to go global. You can be global sitting out of Kerala, you can be global sitting out of India and scale your business across the world. Then there are few companies who want to be physically present in all these different global regions. If you have that kind of vision, we can help you with that as well. So whatever vision you have to be on at global scale, we can help you build our strategies for you. Now, ISV approach that we have, the ISV incubation framework. Now, it is a strategy where we integrate people, process, and infrastructure, the cloud infrastructure, and make the cloud adoption journey easy for our partners. Now, how we will do that is when I say people, I mean people from OEM, people from Crayon, and people from partners. Now, how many of you already work with companies like AWS and Microsoft? Ever interacted with any of the company, AWS, Microsoft? Yeah. Okay, so you might understand how complex it is to reach to the right person. If you have a technical requirement, it's too complex to reach to the right person. And you are the partner. Okay, so as a partner, you would understand how to navigate to the right team. But a lot of the startups and ISVs we are working with, they do not know the right path. So we, along with our partners, we help startups and ISVs navigate to the right team. So this is OEM, the different teams that we have at OEM, and then of course Crayon. In Crayon also we have large team. In India we are about 500 people strong, and we have different team for everything. We have a local team based out of our Kochi office and who work for the entire Kerala region. And then we have our partners. As I said, we have about 700 plus partners in India to drive our cloud business. Now, we have partners like you to help us with our cloud business. Now, when I say people, we have created a process which help the startups and ISVs we are working with navigate in all these three different teams. When I say process, we have created a roadmap. We have created a structure. It's a 4-stage structure where we onboard startups to our cloud strategies. We recruit startups, that is, we bring them on cloud. Once they are moved to cloud, we nurture these startups on cloud. That is getting them right technical assistance, getting them right GTM support, and getting them connected to the right stakeholders in the three ecosystem I mentioned, partner, Crayon, and OEM. Once the nurture is done, once they have built sizable business on cloud, we work on scale motion. Now, scale motion is where we drive OEM and Crayon's coastal support. Now, coastal support is where OEM and Crayon take ownership of selling your application to their potential customers and partners. Now, if you have built a solution for, let's take an example, if you have built a CRM solution and you are driving sales of that CRM solution with 5 sellers, how about if sellers from Microsoft or sellers from Crayon can take ownership of taking your application to their set of customers, enterprise customers? They will act as an extended BDM arm for you. Now that is what the scale motion is, that is what the coastal motion is. And cloud infrastructure, build your application on cloud. We do a lot of dark to cloud support. There are a lot of ISVs. In fact, in 2022, the most effective region for me from the startup space was Kerala. We onboarded 35 startups in a year, which was a big number for us. And that is why we focus a lot on Kerala, and we have a dedicated office. We started our Kerala office in 2023, about 6 months ago. And that is because we have seen the potential of startup space in Kerala. We help startups build their application on cloud with us. We help them collaborate with other service providers, other solution providers, and the partner ecosystem that we have, and make something innovative, create something unique and more lucrative offers for their customers. Now, one of the things that we have started very recently is selling ISVs and startup solutions via marketplace in collaboration with other partners. So as sir, you mentioned that you're a partner. Now, you are providing cloud services to your set of customer. And let's say you're providing your solution to a jewelry manufacturing company. You're providing them cloud services. I have a startup, I have an ISV, they have created application for jewelry manufacturing. Now, you can bundle your Azure cloud or AWS cloud with that application and sell it to their customer. That way you can create a 3-way communication. So it's a win-win situation for the startup, it's a win-win situation for the cloud partner and the end customer, because end customer is getting everything in one single window. So that is the kind of innovation that we do under this incubation framework strategy, the program that we have created. The other part is, as I said, we have worked with more than 700 startups and ISVs in India. At the moment, more than 400 plus startups and ISVs are still active with us. And the expertise that we carry is we have expertise of working with all different kinds of startups. There are startups who have just bootstrapped. I have startups who come to us with just an idea. We want to create a solution, and this is the thought process that we have. We get them connected to right people, right partners. We develop their solution, and once the application is developed, they start selling it. And we also have unicorns who work with us. There are a lot of startups who started with $100, $200 consumption, and right now they are burning more than $200,000-$300,000 annually. One of them is from Kerala. So we have seen that kind of growth in startups. Now, this kind of growth is something we can't expect from non-startups. The non-startup customers I have right now, they grow at 5, 10, 15, at max 20%. But when I'm working with startups, they grow in X, 2X, 5X, 10X. And this growth I can only expect from startup. And that is the reason, along with Crayon, all other major IT companies have dedicated focus for startups and ISVs. I was just checking, there is, we also have a booth outside. I'm happy to discuss, if you want, please visit our booth. So right next to our booth, Bank of India also have their booth. They have a dedicated team to cater startups. And that's how important startups are getting day by day because of all the expansion that is happening. Now, moving on, dedicated cloud strategies. So as I said, there are a lot of programs and strategies built from our OEM partners and Crayon, and we help you choose the right strategy for you, right program for you. Now there are so many programs, and there are much more programs than what you see here. We help you choose the right program for you. There are a lot of assessment programs, there are a lot of cloud readiness programs. There are programs under which you get free migration support. There are programs under which you get modernization support. Now, there are a lot of companies who are still in the startup category, but their application is probably 5, 10 years old. We can help them modernize those applications and be cloud ready, be SaaS ready. Because if you want to go global, SaaSification is one of the key requirements to go global. Once your application is SaaSified, you can sell your application sitting out of India to anywhere you want. Now that is, there are multiple programs which can help you with free modernization support. It all depends on what kind of workload you have. We help you with POC support to go live on cloud. If you are not on cloud at the moment, we can help you build cloud strategy, give you POCs, and test and try cloud for your application. There are certain programs under which you also get free credits to move your workload on cloud, and we can help you with that as well. So this is for AWS. In similar fashion, we also have it for Microsoft. So these are set of programs that we have for Microsoft. Now, as a startup, it is very important, as a tech startup, it is very important that you leverage AWS and Azure Marketplace. How many of you know about Azure AWS Marketplace? Okay. How many of you have tech startups? I mean, how many of you have application, ERP, CRM, DMS, any kind of application business? Okay. So if you have any kind of application business, Marketplace become default for you. So all the ISVs that come to us, all these startups who build their cloud strategies with us, Marketplace is something which we make it mandate for everyone. It doesn't cost anything. It comes with free of cost. We have in-house capability for Marketplace listing. Just by being there, so I'll tell you why it is important. You see the program Nurture and Grow, Transact and Grow, Marketplace Transact and Grow program. Now let's say if we have your solution, which you're already selling it to other customers, and your average billing for each customer is $1,000, and you have 25 customers, that is $25,000. The $25,000 cloud impact is $10,000. Okay, so what Microsoft is saying, you bring that entire $25,000 billing, not cloud, $25,000 billing on Microsoft Cloud, on Microsoft Marketplace, and you are incentivized for that. About $10,000 incentive you get by driving $25,000 billing on Marketplace. And the cloud impact is just $10,000. So you're paying $10,000 to Microsoft, in return you are getting $10,000 incentive. Now that is the kind of program we can enable our startups with. There are a few other programs that is managed by us. For example, Voyage to Cloud is another program, which is a Crayon-led program. In Voyage to Cloud, we are giving free migration, free assessment, free modernization support for our startups. Now, we will help you. So what typically happens is when you get connected to one of our account managers, they will assess your environment. They will understand the business that you have and the plans that you have for next 1 or 2 years. Where do you see yourself, how you want to scale your business. On the basis of that, we will help you choose the different initiatives you have on AWS and Microsoft and build your application journey on cloud with us. Now moving on, so as I said, one of the interesting statement from that video is, you do what you do best and leave the rest to us. Whatever kind of business you are into, when you go on cloud, it comes with certain requirements. How to manage the infrastructure, how to manage the day-to-day operations, how to manage your DevOps requirement, how to manage your application with the new services which are going live. How many of you are already exploring data and AI? Okay, wonderful. So, there are a lot of changes happening on data AI now. Microsoft started Bedrock was always there on AWS. Now Microsoft initially started talking about Copilot. So there are two types of Copilot. One is Copilot for M365, and there's Copilot Studio for Azure. Now 25, they will be focusing a lot on Azure Fabric. And Azure Fabric is something which can be very useful for the startups, especially if you are a product startup. Now, these are the strategies we can help you build. So you focus on your application development, and we can bring those strategies for your solution to make it more lucrative by different services that we are offering. We will help you choose the right licenses. We'll help you choose the right cloud services, and we can also manage your cloud for you. We have partners who help us with managed services. We have partners who help us with DevOps services. So whatever technical requirements you have, there is a team. We have a huge partner ecosystem who can cater this for you. And now come to the ISV incubation center. So as I said, we have 7 ISV incubation centers operational across India. In all different parts of India. We have incubation centers north, east, south, west. In south, we have incubation center in Kochi. In Hyderabad, we are still building up. That is another center we are planning to open very soon. But once the Hyderabad is live, we'll have 8 incubation centers pan-India. Now, incubation center is designed to make the whole cloud adoption journey easy for our startups and customers that we have. It is also designed to help our partners support their customers and ISVs and startups better. So I've been talking about a lot of stuff. I've been talking about a lot of technical stuff, a lot of marketing stuff. Now this can be overwhelming for our customers, and we make it easy from incubation center. All the services that I've just spoken about is split into 3 parts: marketing, technology, and business. Everything that I've spoken about. So all the benefits is split into in these 3 segments, and incubation centers are, they are designed to help you with all these 3 segments. So if I talk about marketing, we can help you plan your GTM strategies with us. We can help you plan your, if you have a product, if you have a solution, how to build your customer database, how to reach to larger audience, what would be the right GTM approach when you're working with your customers. We can help you build all those GTM. Now the GTM that we have in Crayon is divided into 4 parts. The first part is digital motion. We have dedicated digital motion. We have dedicated digital activities where we are partnered with different media houses, and we can help you promote your application to different regions. As I said, we are spread across India. Most of the GTM that we have is limited to India. I'll talk about the global in a bit. But all the digital GTMs that we have, you can decide where you want to promote yourself. Let's say if you are from Kerala, you want to promote your services in north, in west, in east, we can do that for you. If you are someone from outside Kerala and you want to promote yourself here in Kerala, we can do that. We have an incubation center in Kochi who can drive it for you. The second part is in-person GTM activities that we do. We organize a lot of roundtables for our partners and customers. Partner roundtables, roundtables can be split into two parts, partner roundtable and customer roundtable. And again, it depends on what kind of solution and business you have. So if you are catering to a horizontal solution, you have a solution, if you have something like ERP or database management system or telecalling application, it's a horizontal solution which can go across all the industry. For something like this, we organize customer roundtable. For something which is very niche solution, for an example, BFSI, or there is an ISV who created a solution for shipping industry. Now these are niche solutions, and for this kind of solution, we organize something called partner roundtable. We help them get partnered with other partners that we have in our ecosystem, and they can probably make them their partner, make them their resellers. We can decide on the revenue sharing model and eventually get more visibility, more customers from these partners. The third set of GTM that we do for our ISV and startups are Surge Weeks. All the incubation centers that we have across India are equipped with not just pre-sales team, but they are also equipped with inside sales team. Now this inside sales team, we have a dedicated team for Surge Week activity. And these Surge Week activities where we partner with the other services providers that we have, ISVs and startups, we understand their solution, we understand their offering, we create a co-branded marketing contents, and these callers will do telecalling for your application. Now this is something which we are only doing it for our ISVs and startups, only companies who are partnered with us. This can be available for you. Now just imagine a scenario if there are a lot of startups where co-founders are responsible for driving sales. I am giving you a scenario where my team will work as your extended team to sell your application. Now that is also something that we can do, and it can be regional specific as well. If you want to sell it in North, if you want to sell it in West, South, it can be regional specific. The advantage is you will get local language advantage. If you want to speak to someone in Ahmedabad, we have someone based out of Ahmedabad who can talk the local language, and that always bringing added advantage to our startups. The second, fourth GTM, the fourth and the last GTM that we have from ISV Incubation Center is co-sell motion. This is the co-sell motion I was talking about. Once you cross a certain threshold, that is $8,000 MRR, when you cross $8,000 MRR, I can get connected to my software team, which is also part of the product strategy initiatives we have. When you get connected to software team, the software team partner with you. It's a proper contractual obligation to partner with you and sell your application to our enterprise and SMB customers. Now this is what co-sell. So our sellers will take ownership of selling your application. Now this comes with the business commitment, and it's only applicable if you cross the $8,000 MRR with us. So this is the fourth GTM that we have for our startups and ISVs. Now talking about technology, as I said, a lot of startups and ISVs I work with look for technical assistance as well. So first thing that we do is we check the readiness of the startup to be on cloud. Once they have onboarded on cloud, we provide them the required pre-sales assistance. We help them choose the right services, right service mix for their solution requirement, and then build strategies, that is DevOps strategies, managed services strategies. Two of the most asked services, cloud services from me, from any startup that I'm interacting with, is DevOps services and managed services. I still remember about 2 weeks ago, I was talking to a startup based out of Bangalore, and when I told them about our company, they said that I will speak about everything else later. I want to discuss AWS, I want to discuss Microsoft, but before that, I want to know more about the managed services you are offering. He's saying that my company is burning around $14,000 MRR right now, and I know for a fact that it should not be more than $8,000. It's just that I don't have the bandwidth to look into it. Can you manage my infra for me? And that is how the discussion started. So managed service was the first service they took from me, and then came the cloud services. So this is how we build strategies with our ISVs and startups. DevOps service, very important service, which is asked by a lot of startups and ISVs, the tech startups that you're working with, because when they get funding, all of a sudden they start getting a lot of queries, lot of business requirements. They currently have 10, 15 developers, but they're already occupied with the existing projects and engagements they have. But all of a sudden they need 10 more developers. And I'm sure you as entrepreneurs would know, finding 10 good developers, technical resource is big challenge. We have it in-house. We can definitely, and it is done from our Chennai office. We have our developers team, we have a managed services team, DevOps services team based out of Chennai, and we can always extend these services to you. So once you have built your technical strategies on cloud, we come to the OEM engagements. Now, OEM engagements is where we work on different assessments, the compliance requirements that is there for ISVs and startups to be there on cloud. Now, anyone is partnered with Microsoft for Founders Hub? Okay, just an FYI, there is a startup program with both AWS and Microsoft. AWS for startups and Microsoft is called Founders Hub. We are partnered with both the cloud service providers for their startup strategies. Now, in this startup engagement, you have to go through various technical assessment of your solution and your product. We can help you build those technical assessments. There is something called foundational technical review, well-architected review. We can do that for you. We can help you get your application go on cloud, on marketplace, via marketplace. Being there on marketplace can help you in many ways. It becomes easier for a new startup to sell to enterprise customers just by being there on marketplace. Now, these are the technical strategies that we will help you build on cloud when you partnered with Crayon. And then come the business. Every startup is working for profitability. I remember a very interesting conversation I had with one of my startups in Jaipur. They said, I would have only one ask. I mean, they have been partnered with us for some time, but they called me with just one single ask. He said, Shri, I really need to be on marketplace because I'm trying for a funding and the investor is ready to pay the fund if I am marketplace listed ISV, a marketplace listed startup. So we got them listed on marketplace, and that helped them not just acquire funding, he finally sold off his company. So these kind of strategies, the business strategy is very important for any startup, any tech startups and ISVs that we're working with. What are the programs which can get you incentives? There are incentive programs. You can make money just by driving your consumption on cloud. If you have a solution, if you have an application, you might be running it somewhere. The only ask is by moving that service on cloud, you can make incentives out of it. And that is what we are trying to build for you. And this is how the ISV incubation centers are helping our customers, helping our startups and ISVs and partners. And it's not just restricted to ISVs and startups. We have different set of motion which is similar to this for non-startup customers as well. That's a different team, different process. Now, these are the offices that we have in India right now, out of which Hyderabad is still in process. Rest all offices are operational and active. If you are there in any of this location, we have a regional connect. And even if you are not in any of the location, you still have a regional connect. We are happy to get you connected. All the offices are operational except Hyderabad. We have dedicated team, we have dedicated people to manage, cater all the queries you have. We organize something called partner roundtable on regular basis for our partners. ISVs and startups are also our partners. We don't consider them as customer, although there are different types of startups we work with. Some of the startup we onboard as partners, some startup we onboard as customer. It depends on what kind of business you have. But still we consider all the startups as our partner because most of the time we are working with either CXOs or co-founder of the company. And we work with them very differently. So feel free to reach out. We do a lot of activities here, a lot of communication will come to you. With that, I have just come to the last slide. If you have any question, please feel free to reach out. We have a booth outside. I have my team over there. Please get connected. Please get acquainted. If you have any question, you can ask here, of course. If you want to discuss more, please visit our booth. I will be there after some time, and we are happy to address whatever question you have. There is a QR code over there. If you want to get connected to our local representative, you can scan the QR code, and it's a very basic information about what is your company, what is it that you're looking for, and someone from the team will reach out and get you aligned to the right people, and we're happy to help you there. Now that's my time. We have some more time. If anyone has any question, I'm happy to address. So, yeah, please.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you also considering startups who are more in the managed service space, who are providing maybe analytics and data related services for
Yes, we are.
third party?
So I'll tell you, the future is subscription model. Now we have cars and houses in subscription model. The lot of analytics companies we are working with are giving this solution in non-subscription model. They are giving it on instance model. We are working with a lot of analytics company to meter it, to make it subscription based, and that is doable. We have done that with a lot of companies. So it's just that it required a lot of brainstorming with your team, your analytics team. If you have a tech team, I will involve my tech team. Some brainstorming is required. If we do it on a subscription model, how will it look like? So that is one approach that we have for such companies. The second process is we can create it instance based also, because that instant base has to be via marketplace, because that is the most sustainable, because that way we can create some kind of subscription model. Now in that model, we create something called private offerings. Okay, so private offering is restricted to one particular customer. So I need your service, and it can be one time also, but it will happen via marketplace. The reason I want to drive it via marketplace is because then there is an intent of OEMs like Microsoft Azure or AWS to work with you. Otherwise, analytics doesn't need cloud impact. So that is something that we can definitely work. So this required more strategies, more understanding. We'll have to sit together and understand more what kind of analytics services, what platform, what codes that you use, and we can probably work something out. Any other question?
Sir, do you support any startups with the hardware and subscription models? Both comes in one hand. Like we are into energy space, and there will be hardware sales, and also in later stage will be cloud-based systems that will be in subscription model. So do you incubate, or do you support any startups without incubation as well?
Okay, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Rashwin.
Ashwin?
Rashwin.
Okay, Rashwin, yes and no. No, because we don't do hardware. Crayon is 100% cloud company. We don't do anything else outside cloud. Yes, because about 700 partners that we have, more than 50% are SI partners, and we help them build cloud strategies with us. Now, as you mentioned that you're already providing your services to different companies, we can actually help you get yourself and your team skilled on cloud and package the hardware with cloud and sell it to those customers. That is something we can definitely work you with.
Definitely there is a cloud-based system for us, but the problem is like we want to start the production or start the consumers to use our cloud, we have to pay like a foundation with the hardwares. So that's the problem of hardware-based system, or any system without having any like hardware is like we have to utilize the existing infrastructure that won't be capable of future. So that's why we asked such
I understand.
question.
I
Yeah.
understand. So I have multiple such hardware service providers, and they have sizable hardware business, but they are also building cloud to it.
Yeah.
They are and I can name you distributors who are like the top 3 distributors of hardwares.
So
Like
I'll throw an example, because in our case, like energy meters,
Mhm.
we have to supply energy meters for, or like data collection devices for that one, and we have to rely completely on cloud side for the analytics and billing and blah 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 things, everything. So we have to set up the cloud. That will be most secure thing we have to go with.
what kind of energy meters do you have?
For the energy meter, like for electricity or water or anything.
Is it somewhat like secure meters?
Yeah, like energy meters which comes in home.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
yeah,
So let me
electricity
give an
meters.
example.
Yeah.
Secure, please be seated. So secure meter is one of such example. They have this, the hardware. Now what they're doing is everything is moving into smart meters. You might know, I think Rajasthan and UP, they have moved to smart meters now. Now, how the government is procuring smart meters is they are partnering with technology provider, not the hardware companies. So the hardware companies work with technology providers. These are the providers who provide the front-end application to manage those smart meters. Now, the front-end application becomes the L1, and they procure this hardware from this hardware manufacturing company. So we can probably help you with that kind of alignment. We have a dedicated division for public sector engagement. So that is something they can definitely discuss. Please do visit my booth. We have so public sector we majorly drive with AWS. They have a different division for AWS. We have an AWS expert in our booth. He has come down from Chennai. I can get you connected to him. He can actually help you build some strategies, or probably get you connected with those L1 partners who are providing that solution, with whom you can probably partner. That is something we can help you with. Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I had a question more related to the Gen AI requirements that's going on now. So a lot of the clients come in with requirements for some sort of a sandbox where we can set up maybe RAG related work, which is customization of generic models. So that actually requires certain kind of an initial expenditure to set up the necessary infrastructure and processing, right? Are you supporting such initiatives in-house? Because that is not necessarily going to give you a revenue immediately.
Yeah.
It's something that you're playing around with and you're seeing whether it's performing optimally. And if that is the case, is it specifically tuned towards certain industries, or is it something that?
So one of the challenges that I talked about is gaining more expertise. So we have regular sessions that we organize for our partners, where we talk about the latest services and offerings. So what you're asking is covered in our services session. We call them workshops. We conduct technical workshop, educating our partners. Now this is one-to-many, but we can do it one-to-one as well. It can be very specific to your requirement as well, and we have in-house capability for that. Okay? So I'm happy to have this discussion one-on-one. Something doable, and we have. By the way, where do you have? Are you using any cloud right now? Okay. Very happy to have the discussion with you. I'll be at the booth in some time. I'll have the discussion with you. Anyone else? Okay, so I think that's my time. But thank you for being so patient. Namaskaram, Vandina, and I'll see you all in the booth. Okay. Thank you so much.